And welcome back. It is Monday. Just move that away. It is Monday, and one trade today and one win. Cut it a bit early just because of my risk management. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. I took a trade on the Nasdaq and bagged 463 points for £103 and 16 pence profit, and that was in the duration of 1 minute and 52 seconds. So, not a bad trade today. I'm gonna go over the news, what I was looking at on each of the charts that I was looking at, overall bias, and my reasoning for getting in. So, today's model, I used the 815 815 New York retracement model. I just got a couple notes here just for afterwards. And yeah, so what I was looking at was, if we just take all this off, we got our weekly opening gap here, accumulate through Asia session, and then a bit of a move up in London, retrace into this, and I was just thinking, it's fairly bullish at the moment. We've got a big imbalance from last Friday that we're still needing to fill, like this inverse fair value gap up here. And yeah, I was pretty much just thinking, like, in terms of the ICT silver bullet and the way price tends to fill an imbalance slash, you know, trade into an inverse fair value gap after making a move from it, and then push up higher. So I would be anticipating maybe a push up higher in the PM session to do a final sweep, but it's not completely necessary. It doesn't need to happen. Like if we look at, yeah, so we look at these highs here. Friday we swept that, dropped down, traded back up to rebalance it all, minimize all that. And yeah, so today was literally just a very, very quick scalp. And what I used to help determine my bias as well was a mix of some of the other charts. So this is the 8 to 815 candle marked out here. We went for the retracement, not the first one, but the second one. But before we get into that, we're going to go into the other charts. So we got S&P here, marked out the same candle. As you can see, we didn't get a retracement into it. Price just sort of broke away before the New York Open. And yeah, since there, it just sort of kept on going up. So this is another reason why, we can take this SMT here as a confluence to confirm that, price may not need to come and take this high because it has done on the S&P. But then again, it could be just lagging behind as we've seen many times. But yeah, I also marked this out for the Dow as well, but price just absolutely ripped on the Dow. I think it moved like 700 points. Yeah, 48,451 all the way up to 49,065. So that's like, yeah, 610 points or something like that. And that was no chance of retracement there. So, I was just eyeing up to see, if we go into the 1 minute, price sort of comes back from the 9:30 open, whereas on the S&P it's already higher. And because of this, like both of these markets were trading higher, I did have more of a bullish sentiment. And I thought, right, if I'm going to get in this trade, I want it to be good risk to reward, and I want to manage my risk as more of a scalp rather than, trading the previous daily high, previous daily low model, as you see here. So I think this is what I'm going to do going forward. When price isn't sitting at like previous daily high, previous daily low, or is sort of building up to a trade where I can move like that, then I'll just be doing the standard 815 candle model. Obviously, exercising discretion with my trades because you don't want to take too many of these just because the risk is fairly small. as in like the stop loss is quite tight, usually uh, like five handles or 50 pips, 5 points on the S&P, 15 points take profit. Um, Pop one of these in. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with how this played out. I've marked out where I closed the trade, where I trimmed my stop, um, just because it was a minute and 52 seconds and I was up 100 quid. May as well just take that. Doesn't need to be massive gains every day. By the time price had done that, so this was the initial position. If we go 3 lots, yeah, so it's £77 stop for £300 take profit, and then off of, let me just zoom in a little bit here. So we had that first retracement 936, and I was just waiting to see how the candles were going to close. We had this breakdown here on the 5 minute. I was thinking maybe a retracement off here, but I wanted to just see how we went along, especially looking at, if we look at this fair value gap here, I wanted to see how the 15-minute closed. And it was basically the reaction that was nice for me. It was enough for me to get in. It just felt right with, as I say, with the other markets, the S&P and the Dow both being up. Even just for a small scalp, this felt good. But anyway, as I was, so we got this initial push up. I was just waiting to see like the close on this 815 break, this 815 candle. Sorry. We were just gradually trailing. I sort of like drifted it up a little bit, closed it, and then I had it like right below this 1 minute low, and just to avoid any pullbacks, I just closed at 1043. So if we see, if we just drag this down like this, so it's like 100, 102, 103, and then bring that down here, and that to like that. So you can see it was still about 3-1 risk to reward, and I think this is the main thing I'm going to focus on, especially with my scalping. While using this model, is just to make sure that I am cutting risk and removing it very quickly. Obviously not immediately, but to the point where I can relax or just take profits if it's there. Like, you have to think, well, the way I saw a video the other day, and it's like, if someone had that money in cash and they gave that to you for 2 minutes of work, would you take it? Of course you'd take it. Do you know what I mean? That's like 100 quid in 2 minutes. That's like some people's daily pay. And yeah, something about that video just like clicked in my head, because previously I'd been wanting to let all my trades run to TP and just let it do like a set and forget type thing. And it's good and all doing that, but there's like a balance that has to be found. Like if I'm doing that every single time, granted today it would have hit TP for £300, but if I'm doing that every time, then my win rate is going to drop, purely because price reversing or whatnot. So it just makes sense today. I felt at that time, let's just take this and be done for the day. And as you can see, once price climbed up here, we saw a retracement down, small push up, and it was just sort of sideways for a few minutes up until about 10 o'clock. But yeah, buyers were still protecting this level down here, and we just see it gradually move up. I was expecting maybe full TP to get taken at 11, but it was just a few minutes after. this would have been just shy. Like you can see, just shy of that green zone in the inverse fair value gap there. So it would have been like a tick short for TP. So there's that sort of risk as well, but it can be expected. And yeah, overall, I'm happy with today's trade. And it's nice to start the year off with a win. Happy with the way I managed the trade. I was just generally quite pleased with how I did everything today, and it just felt smooth. I had a good approach. I knew what I was going to be trading if it happened. I had reason for getting into the trade, being that we have this bullish bias across the S&P and the Dow. They're both pushed up before the Nasdaq, and this was the one. This was the one that I took, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of the actual trade itself. For the news, we had PMI at 10 a.m. New York time, so I was already out of the trade by this time, and that is it. That's all we had. So tomorrow we've got no red folder. Thursday got job openings, non-farm employment change. Oh no, that's Wednesday. Sorry. Thursday unemployment claims, and then Friday we got quite a bit of red folder. So I don't think I'm going to touch Friday, but we'll just see what we get for the rest of the week. Like I say, I don't really need to place another trade for the week now. I'm kind of happy with this. But again, if a good opportunity does present itself, then we will have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. Do you know what I mean? And also with all this stuff that's going on in Venezuela, it's just like quite a strong showing of the US force and the power that they have as a country, the speed that they were able to complete their operation, and just the efficiency they did it. And I think that's given the markets a bit of a bullish push, especially the American markets. I know that my Chevron holdings, or Chevron itself, I think it jumped about 12% off that news. Yeah, so you can see, if we go to 1 hour, so from Friday's close to Monday's open, price traded all the way up to 165. Just massive jump, because Chevron is, I think it's like the largest oil company / petrol company already in Venezuela. So the hope for them is that because they're already there, and with this operation that's been going on to take the president of Venezuela and all the oil and stuff, it's gonna drive oil prices down, hopefully. And the expectation of that has caused this great push. I think ExxonMobil as well was sort of the same. So this is a Brazilian depository. Yeah, see same sort of movement here. And I know that there's been quite a few nuclear fusion and quantum computing stocks that have also gone up today as well. Some nice jumps, but then again, they are smaller cap companies, so it can be like 14% jump, but it's only going up a couple of dollars a share. So a bit of a tangent there, but just a bit of insight, using the fundamentals to fuel my bullish bias for the day. And yeah, overall very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. I think on the higher time frame, if price does break this high, then we could be on for further push up to this high here. I think on a 4 hour, bit clearer to see. Yeah, so if we see a break above this, we should be on for further push up for Boxing Day high, 11th of December high. We got these 4 highs up here, resting buy side liquidity, a bit more external, but the first target is obviously going to be this on the Nasdaq. So I think for the S&P, yeah, you can see we've broken above these highs here as well. So, on the 4 hour, we could be looking at a retracement into this sort of zone and then continuation up. But yeah, other than that, I think that's just gonna about do it for me for today. I didn't touch gold or anything, but that was my setup. So very straightforward. And yeah, with all that being said, trade smart, trade safe, and I will catch you tomorrow.